You have understood about linear inequalities, correct? Now let's understand the graphical presentation of a linear inequality. And I'm not talking about the number line. Okay, we are talking about, suppose if you have a linear inequality in two variables in terms of x and y, then you are going to get a straight line and we have a region above or below the straight line depending on what type of inequality you have. Fair enough? Now I'll show you one simple example. From the example we can figure out, okay, this is how the line looks like. Fair enough? Okay, let's start with a simple example. Say the first example I'll take. Alright, let's take 2x plus y is less than or equal to 4. Assume that this is the value. Alright. Now what we do, irrespective of whether you have equal to or greater than equal to, less than equal to, whatever it is. Okay. Now remember how you are plotting the line? You are making a table x and y. Correct? So first thing what we do, we make the same table equating the LHS to RHS. In the sense, what we are going to do, we are going to take 2x plus y is equal to 4. Take it as equal to. Then start substituting the values. Or you might as well do y is equal to 4 minus 2x. Now you start making the table. So you have x, you have y. When you take x and y, suppose if my x value is 0, y value is going to be 4. Suppose if x value is 2, then y value becomes 0. 2 points are enough to plot a line. Correct? Now let's plot the line. Now first and foremost, you have to have the x and y axis. So assume this is the x axis and then we are going to take the y axis here. Okay, so let's assume that this is going to be the y axis. So you have x and you have y. Alright. Now first plotting the points is very important. The first one is 0, 4. So 0, 4 is going to be somewhere over here. So assume that this is 0, 4. Second one is 2, 0. So assume that this is 2, 0. Now what you need to understand is that you have a slack inequality. It's less than or equal to. Correct? So for what you do now is that you are going to make a line. Basically the line has to pass through these 2 points. Line has to pass through these 2 points like this. Okay, so this is going to be the line. Okay. Now a very important part is, see, you are trying to show that it is less than or equal to the value. Correct? Now when you have less than or equal to 4, now anything which is below the line is less than region. Anything is more than the line, that is above the region. Correct? That's how it's very easy to understand also. That means in this case, anything which is below, it's a region, right? So for that region, we are going to take this side, this entire region. Okay, this region is the answer for the given inequality, which is 2x plus y less than or equal to 4. This is how you solve it. So always remember, it is first you have to equate it, make a table, then plot the line. Okay, now what if we have a strict inequality? Okay, a very strict inequality. Then how are you going to represent? How are you going to plot it across the graph, xy plane? Now for that, it's pretty much the same. Okay, first equate it, but then the presentation is going to vary a little bit. Whenever you have a strict inequality, so in the sense, suppose say you have some value, some inequality, assume that you have some inequality which is a strict inequality. Then what we do is, instead of writing a line like the one what you are seeing here, we are going to write a dotted line like this. So a dotted line like this, this represents that it is a strict inequality. It is a strict inequality. Alright, and the thick line, whatever you are using here, this represents that it is a slack inequality. Make sense? So keep this in mind. Always, there are 3 points what you have to understand whenever you are going to plot a linear inequality. The first one is always equate it. The equal to sign, that's a very important part. Then make the table. So this is the first step, this is the second step, and the third step is going to be the graph. Depending on whether it's a slack or a strict inequality, you have to shade that particular region. Alright, so this is how we are going to solve linear inequality in two variables. Now, few questions we'll solve in the next video, and that is going to make sure, for sure you guys will understand how it is and what it is. Clear? So we'll solve few questions from the next video onwards.